started. All right, everybody. This is the ESO podcast. I don't even know what this is. I'm number 12, maybe. I think the 11th episode got lost.
You know what's crazy? Episodes 7 and 11 are lost.
Yeah. Episode 7 was same thing. It never showed up in my past broadcast for me to highlight, and neither did episode 11. They're just not in my past broadcast. There's nothing there for me to highlight. It's almost like Twitch just crapped them out. I don't know. Anyways, we're going to be talking about the subscription model for ESO, and that's going to be the main topic. Also, we're going to go over how ESO has been received at a lot of the gaming conventions recently. And then we'll do a little bit of your Q&A at the end. So, if you haven't heard, ESO has announced there's going to be a subscription model. Now, you're paying $60 up front for the game, which is what we kind of expected. Yeah, $60. And then you're going to be paying $15 a month for your subscription fee. But that's after the first month. You get the first month free. Which
is common. Pretty standard, yeah.
Now, what we will say, though, is I'm pretty sure someone told me that there's an option. They already said there's going to be an option, a couple different ways to pay. Now, it's per month is $15, but if you pay, I think there was like a 6-month in advance one where it was like $13 a month or something like that. But
still,
at the same time, paying 6 months in advance is kind of a difficult thing for me to do. I don't know. You never know what's going to change. You never know what's going to happen. And you might find yourself paying for a couple months that you're not even going to use. So,
yeah.
Now, on top of the subscription model, there's also been talk of a in-game cash shop that supposedly will have no effect on gameplay. The quote is that it will have fun stuff. Now, what this fun stuff is has not been really discussed. We don't know what it is, but we're going to talk about what we hope it's not going to be. So, Soma, what do you think about the Galbang subscription model here? What do you think about it, buddy?
What do I think about the subscription model? Well, I'm happy with it. Overall, I have to say that this is the direction I wanted ZOS to take with ESO. I wanted it to be pay for the box, pay a sub fee. Did I jump for joy when I heard it was $15 a month?
It's no, a little expensive.
I believe that's outdated. I believe that just because your competition started off with $15 a month, 8 years ago, wow, or SWOTOR started off with a subscription fee. WildStar has a subscription fee plus a way to actually purchase and earn game time in the game, which is good. I like that hybridity.
Yep.
Overall, though,
a new thing, but that's cool.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, but with ESO, I think.
What would you be happy with? Like $12?
This is what I would have been happy with. $9.99 a month.
Okay.
With ways to discount your game time in terms of if you pay for like 3 months in advance or 6 months, like you were saying, cut it down to like $8 a month or something like that, and no cash shop at all. That's the way I think would have been the best route for them to take. $60 for the game, $10 a month. So they show you, we're doing a sub fee, but we're not trying to break your bank, $15 a month like the previous MMOs. But please understand that we need to keep stability financially to keep the mega server going and to develop more content. We need some kind of fee.
Right.
And I'm totally fine with that. I get that. $15 a month, which if you think about it, that's what? That's a fucking sub sandwich and a soda and a pack of cigarettes. It's not that bad.
It's not gonna break your bank necessarily.
Yeah, but it's still
depending on how much you play too. Now this is something that you gotta take into account. A lot of people play MMOs casually. Now a $15 a month sub fee might turn off a lot of the casual players.
Think about the console guys too. This is one thing that we haven't really discussed. The console guys, Xbox Live has already stated, if there is a subscription-based game, you do not have to actually pay for Xbox Live to play it. So anyone that's thinking they have to pay an Xbox Live fee or a PlayStation Plus fee and then an ESO fee of $15 a month, don't worry about that. You only have to pay for the actual game fee to play on the service. So don't worry about that. You're not going to be double dipping in terms of sub fees. But in general, I think at $15 a month to me it seems like
it's a little high.
They are setting up to go free to play in the future, and they're trying to get as much money as they can in the first 4, 5, 6 months
to pay for a little bit of future development.
And then they're going to implement some stupid cash shop, and it's going to go free to play in the future. Yeah. I hope to fuck that does not happen. I will be so sad if it eventually goes free to play, and then Matt Firor has to eat his words because there is pay gates in front of what you're trying to do in the game.
Now, that being said, let's discuss again why we think the subscription model is the way to go. Now, we talked about this in prior ESO podcasts.
Okay.
With why we think a subscription model is the correct way. Now, I'm not against free-to-play games. I'm really not, but if I really enjoy a game, I would rather it be a subscription fee, and this is why. A lot of times in free-to-play games, just because it's free-to-play, people hop in those games and they just don't really care. They don't care if their account gets banned. They don't care if they're trolling. They don't care. They're just there to mess around. But
nothing to lose.
Yeah, exactly. There's absolutely nothing to lose. Now in a subscription game, you're actually paying for what you're spending your time on. You're invested into the game. So when you're paying to invest into a game, you're actually going to, most of the time, spend your time wisely. You're going to be doing something constructive. Now again, that doesn't mean that there won't be people who are paying a subscription fee and going to be trolling people, because that's going to happen. This is a day and age where trolling is
the internet.
Something that you can't get away from. But it will minimize that. It will reduce the amount of it. And I'm okay with a $15 a month subscription fee, but I know a lot of people aren't going to be. But this is what I'm not okay with. Now, they've talked about a cash shop being in the game, including fun stuff. Stuff that will not affect the gameplay. But at the same time, it makes me kind of upset, because $15 a month is a higher subscription fee than what a lot of people feel like it should be, me included. Doesn't mean I won't pay it. I will.
Me too. I'm still going to get the game and play the shit out of it.
But it is high, and I think they know that. But now I forgot what I was going to say. What was I
on? It's okay.
The cash shop. Now,
yeah,
we don't know what fun stuff is, okay? They didn't give any indication of what that is. They just literally used the term fun stuff. Now,
which is stupid.
And me and someone talked about this a little bit before we went live. They've already talked about, like, costume shells and, like, costume customization things. Now, immediately what popped into my head is they're gonna offer some sort of, flaming sword shell that you can put on your sword and make it look awesome, that you can take off and put on whatever you want, or something that changes your chest piece, to have some really awesome shoulder pads. I don't know. There's like tons of stuff that they could do with that, right? Some special dye that you can't go get yourself. There's so many things that they're on a steep slope here, okay?
Triple dipping.
They're very, very close to triple dipping, and it bugs me because even though it doesn't affect gameplay, if I am paying $15 a month and I purchase the game, I feel like I should be able to get anything I want out of that game that everybody else can get.
They literally say that too. They say paying the subscription fee gives you access to 100% of everything the game has to offer. Yet there's a store where we can purchase fun stuff.
Now, I don't know. It's weird too. Like, what if the cash shop is, you can buy like fireworks that shoot off in the air or something like that. I wouldn't care at all.
I wouldn't care either. Yeah.
I really wouldn't care. But if it's because I know how I am as a person too, and I would be pissed if I saw somebody like running around on some special mount that you can only get in the cash shop or something like that. That would piss me off.
Me too.
That would make me upset.
I would be pissed too. paying $15 a month plus $60. I mean, that's okay. If you want to play ESO for 60 days, 2 months, you have to shell out $75. Think about that. If you want to pay the monthly subscription after that, good on you.
Yeah.
Do you have to? I will. I mean, I already know the game's really good, and I plan on playing it for a long time. But when it comes to the cash shop, I get charging people to change names. They're going to charge people to change their name. Mm-hmm. If you are that ADD or that nuts that you have to change your character's name and you're willing to spend $5 on it or something like that, that's your call. I mean, that's pretty intense. World of Warcraft and other MMOs have done stuff in the past where you could pay to change your server or something like that.
There's always no relevance in ESO, but yeah, I mean, there's always...
That's true. You're right. It has no relevance. There's always been, though, little things where you're getting dimed and nickeled off the side. Like you want to change your server, change your name.
Yeah.
I get that part, but they should completely abandon ship on the store. Like, I don't see what the point is of it except to get more money. Now, that's all it is.
This is also something we were talking about. Now, if the cash shop turns into be something where... Now, see, but this is total speculation, and I don't even think what I'm about to say is going to happen because of specifically what they said, this term fun stuff. But what we were talking about is, what if they had a cash shop where, you know, there's a white dye that you could go out and get the things for yourself if you wanted to, or you could purchase it from the cash shop. I could care less if people want to say, you know what, I want my whole outfit to be white. I'm going to just buy 6 whatever pieces of white dye and dye my whole gear white. I could care less as long as I can go get that myself. So if they want to pay, you know, 50 cents, whatever, I don't even know, whatever they want to pay for that stuff, I don't care. But if it's, you know, buy this bright pink dye, which maybe I probably wouldn't care anyways if it was bright pink, but if it was a dye that, you know, you couldn't go out and get on your own, then that would just be, it's not fair. It's dumb. I don't like that. I hope they don't do it.
Yeah, I was looking at the chat, and there's a couple of good points. Like maybe a paid race faction change, or like a PvP campaign change. Like they said, you could change campaigns, right? You could pay to change campaigns. I don't know if it's going to be in-game currency, which that's what I thought.
That's what we both initially thought.
But if it's pay to change that right there is just, okay, you're paying for convenience. You want to look different, fine. I should be really careful when I say that. Look different in terms of change your race or recreate your character. Not look different as in buy a nice cloak that glows blue or something like that. Yeah. That's completely different. Buying something in-game that changes the way your character looks as opposed to paying to change your race or faction or something like that. Big difference, and I can understand why people would want to do that. Let's say your best friend rolls a character, and then you find out, you know, that he's Daggerfall Covenant, but you're Aldmeri Dominion, and you're like, well, I want to play with my buddy. I have a few extra bucks. I'll just bite the bullet and go switch factions and play with him and remake my character. Well, like I get why someone would want to do that. I completely understand that. The circumstances come up where that will happen, and I get that. But I don't think they should call it an in-game shop or a game shop with fun stuff. They really need to be careful with their wording. Yeah, that fun stuff really makes you think about what they could possibly put in there. Like, they need to be careful with their vernacular. Like, they really do. Fun stuff makes me hate it already. Right. The term hearing fun stuff makes me upset. They shouldn't have said that. No. He should have dropped it at, we're allowing people to use the game shop to change their name and other stuff like that doesn't affect game. The term should have just been there'll be an in-game shop where you can purchase convenience or something like that. I don't know. I feel like convenience is a generally accepted term when it comes to cash shops, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, we're both worried about that. The fact that you're paying full box price, $15 a month, and they're still throwing a cash shop at you, that's borderline triple dipping, and that's not an accepted thing in the MMO genre right now. So we'll see how that pans out, I guess. But overall, though, I mean, subscription fee, I'm happy with it. I'm happy they have a sub fee because that means that people are paying to be there and they want to be there, right?
Right.
People are paying that fee knowing that everyone else is paying and everyone else wants to have a good experience. For the most part, there's always going to be assholes.
Definitely.
$15 a month, too much. That's outdated. This isn't 10 years ago. Eventually the market has to change, right? People don't have as much money as they did 10 years ago. The gaming frontier has drastically changed. MMOs have changed.
Well, another thing that you have to think about too is it's not just that things have necessarily changed. I mean, look at the waters right now as far as the MMO genre goes. That's kind of arrogant, really, to say
charge 15.
We're going to go $15 a month when there's all these other games out there that have free-to-play models that people can just go play if they want to. I mean, we're
arrogant.
A little arrogant with the $15 a month.
Arrogant or confidence. Arrogance and confidence, they...
That can be a widely debated topic as well. We won't even get into that.
Yeah,
but
obviously they're confident about their game, or they wouldn't come out with that kind of pay model. But I still think it's a little steep. I think the smart move would have been, hey, yeah, we're a subscription-based MMO, but we get it. MMOs have changed. We don't think $15 a month is acceptable. Let's go with $9.99 or $8.99, and that's your flat fee. There's no cash shop. Enjoy the game, and
right.
There you go. Less than $10 a month. That's awesome, right? But it really does seem like they're really pounding it in with we want your money. I don't know. If I think that if they hadn't announced that in-game shop, or if they had just let that, to maybe say that, hey, you can pay to change your name. To announce it like that is a little dangerous for them. But at the same time, I think that it's good that they're announcing this stuff so early. I think they should have announced it earlier, because right now it's big hot button debate and topic, and everyone's pissed off about it. A few people are happy, most people are upset. People are already saying, I'm done with this. I'm an Elder Scrolls single player gamer, and you're telling me I have to pay to play this online, Skyrim follow-up, as some of the developers have said. I'm sorry, but a Skyrim follow-up, which they've directly said that several times, they've quoted that, which I don't know why they would ever say that. Skyrim follow-up?
They've used
What are you thinking?
really bad...
Don't say that. That's not true. It's not a Skyrim fucking follow-up.
Yeah.
It's an MMO. It's different. Don't ever say that. You're a completely different development studio.
They've worded things so
badly.
What
are you thinking? But that single-player guy who's like, I play single-player games, now I have to pay to play this shit online, monthly, and then there's going to be a shop too? Bad. That's bad. But they're doing it. They should have done it earlier, so that it kind of, the seas will settle a little bit, the waves will relax. But they're doing it 4 or 5 months in advance anyway, so that's good. By the time open beta comes, let's say it's in January. That's what, 4 months from now?
Yeah.
That's a lot of time. That's a third of a year. People are gonna relax. People are gonna calm down. They're gonna realize, okay, this is the reality. We're not going to be able to change this.
Well,
I guess I have to pay. And people are going to not be pissed anymore. Time heals all. So.
Well, we got PAX Prime, which me and Soma have some crazy stuff possibly happening during PAX Prime. We won't really talk about it right now, but we're keeping our fingers crossed. Could be awesome.
It could be
anyways,
very good for the podcast, yeah.
It could be very good for the podcast, absolutely. But with PAX Prime coming up, and the mention of this cash app, I can already see, that question being thrown out and people trying to get more information during PAX Prime. So maybe we'll get some more information on it. Maybe we'll have some examples of what might be in the cash app, but we'll see. Also, something that I want to throw out before we move on to the next topic. Soma did mention that there is 3 million people signed up for ESO beta right now.
Yeah.
3 million. Now, Star Wars was one of the highest beta signups in recent history as far as MMOs go, and they only had 1.5 million. So, as far as an early indication of how many people are interested in this game, it's a lot. There's a lot. There's a lot.
Yeah. So. I mean, just the beta signup, being doubled over SWTOR, and SWTOR, I mean, that's the Star Wars franchise, and it had 1.5 million beta signups. They must have.
Yeah. Think
BioWare
about
must have
that.
been happy to see that many people.
Yeah.
ZOS must be shitting their pants. 3 million beta signups is a lot of people for a beta test.
And
That's
while Elder Scrolls has a long history of games and it's got a huge following already, but Star Wars is a little bit different. Star Wars is, I mean, people follow Star Wars. There's die-hard Star Wars fans out there. I mean,
yeah, different fan bases. Yeah,
different fan base, and it was a little bit more, I guess, of like a niche game, but still, 1.5 million for a beta signup is quite a bit. But ESO is already at 3, so that's crazy. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's intense. Yeah, I think that sheds a little bit of light or foreshadows the first maybe couple months of the game. I think that Elder Scrolls Online is going to sell ridiculously, massively, uberly awesomely in stores. I think that the console market is going to eat it up. The PC market's going to eat it up. It's going to sell a shit ton of copies, mostly because it's on consoles. If you think about it, it's really the consoles.
Oh yeah, it's going to double, if not triple their sales.
So they're going to make a ton of money off of that. So that's good. I'm happy for them that they're making a bunch of money from the initial sale, but then it comes down to the subscription model after that. So
yeah,
I don't know. I'm really nervous that people are gonna unsub after 2 months because they can't deliver the promise of continuously putting in new content, or the game, maybe people will feel it's stale after a month.
Well, we'll see, because that's something that they've already promised is frequent, continuous content updates. So
They've made their bed, and now they have to lie.
Yeah, they don't believe in doing one large patch every month. They believe in frequent updates. They've said it. They've stated it. So, I mean, us as a community has to hold them to that. You know what I'm saying? We gotta stay on their case about that, because I think that's a huge, a huge step to making sure ESO stays around for a while. Because with a $15 a month subscription fee, if I finish the main quest line in a month, and I'm in the end game stuff, I'm looking for things to do. If I'm paying $15 a month to sit there and wait for stuff, that's not gonna happen.
If there's ever a time where I'm bored as shit in the first 2 months, because you get a month free and then you have to pay for your second month, right? If there's ever a time, and this is a tall order, I understand, but if there's ever a time in the first 2 months where I am sitting end game in one of the cities on my mount, running in circles because there's nothing to do and I'm bored on a Thursday, and there's no raids to do, there's no content, I've already beat all the dungeons on hard mode, and I'm sitting there, I've already cleared that content, and I'm bored sitting in town, I'm done.
Yeah, I can't even play, I don't even play Neverwinter anymore because it's the same thing, and that's a free-to-play game. I'm not about to sit there and grind content over and over and over and over again. It's just not going to happen. So,
yeah.
All right. Well, I think we'll move on to the next topic. We talked about the subscription model.
If you don't mind, there's one more thing I'd like to bring up.
Do it up.
That's console players. The whole console market thing, in terms of a subscription fee. Console gamers aren't used to something like that. I mean, yeah, sure, they'll pay a subscription fee for Xbox Live, and there's been games in the past like Phantasy Star Online, and a couple of other console games where you've had to pay a fee to play, but they've never really done extremely well because the console market is different than the PC master race. It's true. I wonder if initial sales are going to be exceptional, and then we're going to see a sharp fall off of subscribers on the console.
You'll see a fall off on everything after the first month or two. It happens in every MMO. Now, right. How many that is, I guess we'll just have to see. But every MMO after the first month or two, after people pay for that first month, you get your first month free. You pay for the second month. So, 2 to 3 months into the game, if they're not coming out with content, you're going to see a drop. It just happens.
Yep.
But we'll see.
I'm a little nervous for them. This is the direction they took. So, I mean, ZeniMax, they aren't dumb. They're smart people. So, I hope that this is the right direction for them. I really hope that they're not shooting themselves in the foot with using an outdated model and then 2.5 dipping, not triple dipping, but like double and a half dipping.
So borderline. You know? They're so
it's
close.
Pretty greedy. Right now, they're looking really greedy.
Yeah, they should have never mentioned this whole Cash App thing. And if they were going to mention it, they should have came out with examples of what it's going to be, because right now people are not happy.
What have I been saying for a while now? It really seems like whoever is in charge of releasing information to the public, it's like they're smoking crack. It's like they keep making these like mistakes that if I was in charge, I would have completely gone a different direction. I could have made, with the same exact information, with the same exact stuff they've been showing, I could have changed the entire... I feel like I could have changed the entire mood of people by showing third-person gameplay at the QuakeCon demo and not the bow. By maybe releasing the pay model a month ago or 2 months ago, or maybe even at PAX East. There's so many different ways they could have gone about showcasing their game and giving out the information. It's like it's like amateur hour.
But I want to say one thing too. Now, it was as much as the whole playthrough gameplay video was not maybe what people expected. You have to give them credit because that was pretty ballsy.
It was ballsy, and I'm happy for them. It didn't melt the internet. People are still interested. So I'm happy for them.
It wasn't scripted. There was nothing. I mean, they probably had planned out what they wanted to do, but it wasn't scripted. It was actual live gameplay. The game didn't crash. There was no huge bug that happened. Obviously, there's animations. There was spell details, spell effects, all that stuff.
But for the sake of being a business, they should have gone a different direction, though. Like, you can't, you don't want to,
You could have done it differently for sure, but it was ballsy. That's unprecedented, really, in a MMO to show gameplay footage. 8 months before the game is supposed to be released in early beta? It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. That was ballsy. Crazy. Yeah, they definitely are confident about their game. If not, like you said earlier, maybe a little arrogant with the pay structure, but they're confident in their game. I'm confident in their game. I've played the shit. I'm willing to pay $15 a month. I am, because I think that for me as a gamer, it's worth it. Am I happy with it? Completely? No, not completely, but overall, I guess, yeah.
All right, so let's jump into the next topic. How has ESO been received at all of the gaming conventions that have been
and by the public
recently? Yeah. So I'll let you start with this, and then I'll jump in.
It seems like every time there's a big piece of ESO news dropping, all you hear is a widespread. You just hear a widespread tall glass of negativity. Like that's not even like, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Basically, it's really negative every time like news drops. Every time there's a big reveal, it's always negative, negative, negative. You rarely ever hear people saying positive stuff. But that's because if you hear something that you're happy about, you don't really need to talk about it. It's like, oh, okay, that's what I was hoping for. Great, I can move on with my day. But if you hear something you hate and it's something that you don't agree with, then you're going to talk about it. You're going to yell about it. You're going to have a tantrum thrown, right? So right now, I believe that we're seeing the vocal minority of negativity, spreading around the internet about the game. But I think for the most part, people are actually very receptive in a positive way for ESO, I think. I could be wrong, who knows. But I think overall people are excited about it. I mean, it's winning awards. I'm looking at the Gamescom awards right now. It won Best Role-Playing Game, and then this one kind of scares me, Best Social/Casual/Online Game.
That's a weird title of a win.
Casual? I don't want it to be casual at all. Like,
that's a weird.
I don't like that. Award. That's a really weird award. And then at PAX East, it won. I don't even know how many awards. It was it swept. It swept. Simon Honeydew from the Oxcast also gave them Best Carpet Award, that's amazing. Like they're doing really well. Best Carpet Award.
Nice.
Overall, every time there's a big reveal, there's widespread negativity, and then it kind of settles down, and then people are like, "Guess we'll have to wait and see. Guess we'll have to wait and see."
Well, all right. Let me give you.
I think it's being received okay, though. I think it's being received better than. I think it's being received positively.
I think the media is a lot more harsh on ESO than the public. Now, and I say that because people that have gone to these conventions and played the demos that they have set up are generally extremely happy with what they've played. They enjoyed it. They want to continue playing more. They're excited to see where it's going. They're excited to see where the game is at this point in beta. There's very few people that really aren't happy with what they tested at a lot of these conventions. A lot of the negativity you see in the media is from what people have seen as far as, okay, we saw this video, this is what we think. Now, as much as you can tell from watching a video, there's a lot more you can be critical of from actually playing and enjoying, the experience that they're giving you with these demos. So, I personally believe that this game has been received quite well from people that have played it. And again, people that are being critical of what they're seeing. Now, from my standpoint, I have not played the game. So I probably, over the course of our podcasts that we've been doing, have been a little bit more critical just because of what I've seen than what Soma has. Now, Soma has played the beta probably, 60 hours probably worth now, at least.
Yeah.
So he's got a lot more feel for it. He knows a lot more of the ins and outs from the game that I do.
I've pinpricked the surface of the game too in the beta. When I say I've sank 6 hours in the beta, I have barely scratched the surface. Barely. One zone. I was in one zone and didn't get very high level, and I didn't even see a lot of stuff because I was enamored and I was too busy having fun and grinding. I wanted to grind. I wanted to go fight shit. I could have done that quest, but I would rather test out my abilities a little bit longer and try to take on these 3 mobs and try to do it differently.
Exactly.
That's how good it was. It sucked me in. So I'm telling you, it's fantastic, and we still have to see Cyrodiil. We still have to see hard mode dungeons. I've seen we've all saw the dungeon in QuakeCon, the QuakeCon live stream. They look pretty fun. They look pretty good. They look pretty generic, the same old fight these mobs, take down a boss, which is fine. There's what can you really do to change that? That's kind of how dungeons work, right? But there's still so much more that we haven't seen, and I believe that you are correct. People that have played the game are excited about it, and they do like it. But
absolutely,
I think that the reception is positive, yes. But I do believe, like I was saying earlier, whenever these big reveals come or there's news, the vocal minority rages, and that spreads across the internet, and that changes people's minds about the game that they might have already tested or might not yet have tested, and that they're excited about. But having those uber nerds rage and say this is bullshit and write big articles about it, that does affect people, and that can change reception. So
yeah. Now, someone in the chat is asking about if this game requires a really good computer. Actually, that was something we talked about in our last podcast. Paul Sage actually said that this game is built, even though the graphics look amazing if you've seen any of the gameplay, the environments look really, really well done. But he did say that this game is designed and developed to actually run on 5-6-year-old computers with 200 people on your screen at one time. So, and that's without any frame rate drop. So I think that's a huge thing, because if you guys have played Guild Wars 2 or anything like that, that game, while the graphics were okay, you go into any of the world versus world stuff in that game, and even with a nice computer, it's laggy. It's really bad. So hopefully that's a good indication of what PvP is going to be like. Now, I don't think a whole lot of people have play-tested PvP. I think that's kind of been something that has been for a very select few of beta testers. I'm sure the beta testing for PvP will start to ramp up probably in a few months.
If the PvP in this game sucks, the game's dead. The Cyrodiil and PvP is the one thing they really got to nail. I think that Cyrodiil, based on how the game appears to be, Cyrodiil is obviously the most important feature of the game, right? So I think if they nail Cyrodiil and PvP feels fluid and good, and you can have 200 people on the screen and there's no slowdown, and your average Joe Schmo with a 4-year-old PC, why would people not want to play? You know, I mean, there's not. Look at the alternatives. Free-to-play SWTOR, where you're getting pay-gated.
Oh, their free-to-play model is the worst. It's terrible.
World of Warcraft, rumors are slowly going free-to-play, and there's already in-game cash shops and a sub fee, so they're like all over the place with their pay model. Plus, WoW is crappy now, and
I think
it's
they're
outdated.
Trying to,
you know,
they're trying to transition
they're struggling.
themselves.
They're struggling to hold on to their base. So I mean, if you look at the competition, I mean, the only real competition I see coming is WildStar, and I don't really know much about WildStar. I know a little bit about it. I know that they have a hybrid model, and that they're going to be doing $15 a month, and then of course you can purchase game time or earn game time in game with like some store. I don't really know how.
I actually like that. You know, that's
so
a really
I.
interesting
So
idea. Especially, like, think about it. If you set up some sort of daily quest line that you could run, where you would get a currency that would allow you to purchase more game time, that would keep people interested. At least running dailies. Like, I personally hate running dailies, but if you set it up to where I can pay for my game time by running dailies, I'll do it. I don't care.
So will I. I would
Sign
do
me
it.
up.
I would do it too. That's real incentive, real world incentive. You're saving money by questing. That is really fucking smart.
You know,
EverQuest
Next is another game to look out for. Now, the reason I will say I'm not interested in WildStar, okay, don't flame me here. It could be a good game. I'll probably give it a try regardless. But at the same time, WildStar's outdated graphics turn me off.
God damn it, Deagen. What the? I am totally on the same fucking boat as you. I am not mad at you at all. I completely agree.
Yeah,
I don't like the way it looks.
Stand it.
It looks.
You're using graphics from WoW 10 years ago. I can't stand it. Like,
I completely agree. I don't like the way it looks. I think it looks like a polygony, cartoony mess. I mean, maybe the combat's going to be amazing. Maybe the mechanics will be sick, nasty.
And you know what? That's fantastic.
Not for me.
If the game turns out to be great that way, I still probably won't play it.
Yep. Cartoony graphics are not cool with me either.
Now, another game that we should talk about, I think, today, too, as far as the view on it and how it will stack up with ESO. Final Fantasy XIV, the early access started on the 24th, and I've been playing it. Now, while I haven't been playing it for super long, I will give you my early take on it and why it actually gets me so pumped for ESO. So, Final Fantasy XIV has a 2.5 second global cooldown in between all your abilities. It's extremely slow, tedious leveling process where you have a very limited amount of abilities to use. And those abilities, no matter how many times you use them, they're the exact same. And that's what gets me so pumped about ESO. Even when I'm just playing Final Fantasy XIV, which isn't a bad game, it looks great. The graphics in it are amazing. The spell detail is insanely good. But it is a Japanese MMO, and it's grindy and slow. But just the fact that when I think about ESO, when I'm out leveling and I'm like, oh cool, I got this ability, and now I've used it X amount of times, I can upgrade it into something else that fits my playstyle a little bit more instead of just the same ability. That just gets me so pumped.
Hey Deagen, I think your mic's popping, man.
My mic's popping?
Yeah.
I don't know why it would be. I haven't changed anything from it.
I don't know. That's just what the chat's saying. I didn't want them to.
Well, let me know if it continues. Can you hear it through Google Plus?
I can't hear it through Google Plus. No. I wonder if it's me. Maybe. Do you think it's mine?
I don't hear anything from your mic either.
I don't know.
I don't know, guys. It's only when I talk. Maybe if I turn my mic volume down or something, maybe that'll help. Let me know if it gets any better. I turned it down. It's gone?
Okay, it's gone. Great.
I didn't do anything.
I didn't do anything either. I literally turned my microphone down like 2%.
Yeah, so did I. I just turned it down a little bit. I'm sorry for that, guys, but thank you for letting me know. But yeah, either way, me playing Final Fantasy XIV, all I could think about was how I can't wait to play ESO. That's literally, when I'm playing that game, I think about playing ESO. That's it.
When you play Final Fantasy, that's what you think about?
That's what I was thinking about the whole time.
Yeah.
All I can think about is that I use the same 4 abilities, well, the same 3 abilities over and over and over and over and over again on a 2.5 second global cooldown for like 10 levels straight. And I'm just like, this is so boring. It's boring.
That's, yeah.
Unless you're a huge Final Fantasy fan, you're
That's
probably
what I
not
was
going
gonna
to enjoy
say.
Final
Only
Fantasy
Final
14.
Fantasy fans are going to be all about this.
You just
Like
probably won't.
What's up?
I just said you probably won't enjoy the game if you're not a Final Fantasy fan. Period. You just won't enjoy it. It's slow. It's grindy. And the 2.5 second global cooldown on everything it just seems weird, and it makes the combat feel super slow.
Yeah, it doesn't. My roommate Lou, he was playing the beta, and I took like one look at it. I saw that it was hotkey based. I saw UI literally covering 60% of the screen, and like it looked.
Yeah, see, none of that bothered me at all. None of that really bothered me. Now, like I said, I think the graphics in it are really, really nice. They're nice, and I don't have like any frame rate drop at all running the game on Ultra, and it looks really, really nice. And I'm very early on in the game. I haven't done any of the group like party quests or dungeons or anything like that, so I'm gonna wait it out. I'm gonna continue playing and try to experience as much as I can before I make a full, accurate opinion on the game. But my early opinion is that it's very slow and kind of boring.
Yeah, and the NDA just lifted today, so if you actually want to go watch Final Fantasy XIV, you can go watch it. It just looked like a Final Fantasy WoW hybrid. Like it didn't fancy me at all. I didn't get excited for it.
It didn't give you a rumble in your jumble?
It definitely did not. Absolutely not. Honestly, out of all, I've played pretty much every single MMO in the last fucking 10 years.
Same.
And the only one that I've played recently, and this is gonna sound like I'm sucking Zoss cock, but I'm telling you right now, the only one I have played in the past 10 years besides WoW, because I played that for like 6 years, the only one I played that I was like, wow, this has the potential to suck my life away, is ESO. And that's, like, even after the beta events were done, I was like writing down like builds and like thinking about builds I could use and what race should I be and what skill line should I do and should I try this weapon type with this?
What
like,
dragon shouts you want to use?
I want to get dragon shouts. I want to boost Roda all over your face. Boost Roda! Gear! No, there's no
gear!
First Roda!
Oh, gosh.
But yeah, ESO, yeah,
it's gonna be good.
It's good. I really enjoy it. Sure, we're gonna have to pay money. That's fine. Can we ignore the cash shop? Let's hope so. If we can't, that's gonna be a major issue, and we'll be talking about it, I'm sure.
You know, if there's one thing that we've been on this podcast, it is very. What's the word I'm looking for? We're very non-biased of our opinion of the game. We talk about it like we see it, you know, and we'll call them on it if it's something we think that is wrong and it needs to be changed. Then we'll call them on it. So
yeah, and if a ZOS employee is watching, or a friend of a ZOS employee, don't think that we're trying to trash on or anything. We want this to succeed so bad. We're live streamers playing games is how, we make a living. So if there's a game that allows us to be addicted to it and play nonstop and want to work and want to play and want to stream, yes, that's good. We want this to succeed more than anybody, just as much as anybody.
Exactly.
So I think the ZOS developers are great. They've done good work in the past on their previous titles. I'm happy with what they're doing so far. Sure, they make mistakes, or what I believe is a mistake, or they take directions that I wouldn't have taken. And at the end of the day, I'm just a nerd on the internet talking about it, so that's fine. But mad props to all their good hard work. If they are watching, they're doing a good job. I'm proud of them. I really am.
If you mess this up, we will hunt you down. And
I'm the one who knocks. I'll knock and be like, please, lower it to $9.99 a month, please.
And Seinfeld Buff says this stream has also been very whiskery. Yes, we're definitely a very whiskery stream. All right, guys. Well, that's pretty much it for everything. We'll go over some viewer Q&A. So if you guys have any questions, we'll do our best to answer them, even if it's something we've covered in the past. Again, we appreciate everybody being here. We hope you enjoyed the podcast. Yeah, what questions you guys got for us?
Should we do the developer question of the week?
I don't know. Should we?
Yeah, we should.
Okay, we're going to do the developer question of the week, I guess. All right, here it is, guys.
It's a good question. Are there dragons in ESO? Shut up. Yes, they fixed the bow animations somewhat, but animations that'll continuously...
I'm Steve Lang, our producer here at ZeniMax Online Studios, and I have your question of the week. A horse can be an adventurer's best friend, providing companionship and quick transport in the wilds of Tamriel. In the Elder Scrolls Online, you'll be able to purchase a mount of your very own. If you could name that steed, what would it be?
I don't know what's up with the video right now. Actually, I did the same thing last time. It's like jerky. I don't know what it is. Anyways, so that's that. If you have a horsey in ESO, Soma, what would you name him?
Dr. Buttertits. We already talked about this.
It's true. He did tell me Dr. Buttertits before the game.
I would ride Dr. Buttertits into battle in Cyrodiil, and he's going to be fat and he's going to be spotted.
A spotted horse? That's gross.
He's going to be a spotted horse. Yeah.
Nasty.
I think it's going to be great.
I want an all-black horse.
All black? There you go.
Mm-hmm. The stallion, the black stallion.
Why don't we get horses and just name them after each other? Like, I'll ride a horse named Deagen.
Oh, that's so cute.
I want a fat Shetland pony named Deagen. I want him to have a molestache.
Yeah! Now we're talking. I'll do it. I think
it'd be great.
I'll name my horse Soma.
You can ride a horse named Shermer. Shermer
Oh my gosh! What was that behind you? Was that somebody in a bunny costume?
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, yeah. So viewer Q&A. What are we talking about?
I totally just saw that.
I don't know what you're talking about. So let's get some questions. What do we got? Guys?
Can you customize the UI a lot? Actually, Pan, this is something we talked about before too. It's one of the things that they have actually gone into detail about a little bit as far as player mods. They're going to allow a lot of UI mods and customization in the game. So that's definitely
I'm very happy about that. Yeah, if you look at the QuakeCon live stream gameplay, you see like little blue health bars and no numbers. You don't know how much damage you're actually doing. We've discussed this before. I'm all about seeing damage numbers, crit numbers, and healing numbers. I like that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I want that. I want that in the game. They're not going to be putting it in the game though, so that's where the modders, or at least maybe they will, but it's going to be, you can turn it off.
Yeah.
But I'm very much looking forward to the modding community making it a little more MMO-y. Sure, I want my UI to be pretty bare bones, right?
Yeah,
I want
minimal.
I want it to be bare bones minimal, yeah. But at the same time, whenever I do engage in combat, I want to see my crit numbers. I want to know how much health I have in my health bar. If you looked at the QuakeCon demo, on his health bar, it was going up and down, and so was his stamina and magicka. There was no numbers indicating how much you had left, if you had just enough for that one spell to get off. There was no numbers. You had no idea. You just had to gauge it based on how much color was in the bar. That's not okay. It's an MMO. Like, that's a single-player game? Sure. When it comes down to numbers and landing, like, critical heals and attacks at certain times, you have to have numbers.
You have to have numbers, and it's people will be like, well, why do you have to have numbers? Well, let me give you a quick example. Say you're fighting a boss at level 15, and there's no numbers, and the boss hits you, and you're like, okay, well, that did 25% of my health, blah, blah, blah. You come back in there at level 17, and you have no idea. Okay, now he's going to hit me for, what, I don't know. Is it still going to be 25% of my health? Is it going to be 20% of my health? You just don't know. So it's better to have a number so you can gauge and be like, okay, well, now I have this much health. I can take this much more hits. It's just something that anybody who plays an MMO generally thinks about, like if you're tanking or doing DPS or healing. It's just something you generally know, especially for a healer too. Think about, for a healer, you have a boss that can really chunk somebody, right? So you need to be like, okay, well, at my big heal, I need to save it in case this happens. And I don't know, it's something that I feel should be in there. And they've given huge props to the Skyrim modding community and the ESO modding community in general. And they're very excited to allow people to go in and do a bunch of UI customization stuff. So they're 100% backing that. It's good stuff.
Yeah, I'm happy about it for sure.
Another question that I saw was, are we happy with the lore behind The Elder Scrolls Online? What do you think, Soma? Are you happy with where the lore's taking the story?
Overall, I'd say yes, but there's some things that I think are a little hokey. For the sake of an MMO, a 3-faction MMO, for PvP, their only choice was to ally the races the way they are, right?
Right.
So it's kind of seems like a lore in that direction, just to align how they wanted their game to be. Which I know that's normal, but it still seems a little like. So you guys wanted to do this MMO, so you're completely changing, or at least adding in this lore bit about how, in the second era, they all teamed, like these three teamed up, and these three teamed up, and these three races teamed up, and this happened, and then later on in the Elder Scrolls games, you never hear about that alliance war. You never hear. I mean, it's a little hokey with that, and I also don't really like the whole "I've lost my soul. I am the one. I need to go get my soul back." And
yet everybody on the server has the same thing.
Like that. See, that doesn't even really bother me that much. It's kind of dumb. That doesn't really bother me that much, though. It's more of along the lines of what bothers me is that it's a cliche. It's, I lost my soul. I got to get my soul back and kill the big guy that steals everybody's souls. And what they say in the game? There's a prophecy that a soulless one will defeat Molag Bal. Then why the hell is Molag Bal continuously stealing souls? Maybe he should come